I'm Iyeshia. I'm Jasmine.
And I'm 12.
And we're IJT Productions.
God bless. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jean, and I'm 12 mom.
Good afternoon. I'm Denise, and I'm Iyeshia's mother, and this representing IJT Productions. And I first one.
Okay. Me as well.
I'm going to ask a couple of questions. We're going to alternate with the questions. The first question I have for you, Ms. Jean, is what is one thing you would do? What is one thing you would have done differently as a mom concerning 12?
Concerning 12, one thing differently, nothing.
Great. Okay.
Nothing. For the reason being that he's my fourth child. And I did have my struggles with, having three prior to him. However, I look back now and see how I overcame a lot of obstacles with them. I wouldn't change nothing. Wouldn't change nothing.
I feel the same way.
Okay. Is there anything you always have wanted to tell your kids but never had until now?
Then we skip 2. In what ways do you think 12 is like you or not? We're supposed I did.
Miss G was supposed to do the number ones, like the odd numbers, and you're supposed to do the even numbers.
Yeah. Oh, so that's what I was getting ready to do.
No, she was supposed to ask you question 1. You asked her question 1.
Oh, we altered. Wait a minute.
Yeah, you did ask my question. I didn't want to blow it up, but you did ask me my question, so I just rolled with it.
No, she said.
No, I'm saying, Miss Jean, you were supposed to ask the questions first. Like, what's one thing you would have done differently as a mom?
Oh, I know. I was supposed to.
Yeah.
And then I answer it as well.
She introduced herself, and then she went into the first question.
Right, but she was supposed to go. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it's okay. So
I'm answering all 8 questions technically. We both answering all 8 questions?
No, once she gives a response, Madre, then she'll ask like her question. So like how it's supposed to go is Ms. Jean asks you this question, you respond to it, and then you go into question 2 asking her.
So that's what I did. I did the opposite when she asked question 1. After I answered it and she responds, so I went into the next question. So I got it. So my question, so we just switched it.
Okay, so then you want to do so then mom, you'll do the odds and she'll do the evens, but you asked the even question already.
Okay.
So, okay, I'm sorry.
No, let's go as planned. So do I do this one now?
I just want Miss Jean to start off with question 1. To you asking you question 1, you respond, and when you finish your response, you ask question 2 to her so she can respond. And when she finished responding to question 2, she asks you question 3.
Okay.
Like that.
Okay. All right. So
she asked question 1.
Okay.
So we can ask Ms. Jean, you can start off with what is one thing you would have done differently as a mom?
Okay. What is one thing you would have done differently as a mom?
Concerning my children, I think I'm pretty much like proud of what if we didn't have, we went through a lot of struggles and in turn that made them strong and with a work ethic and as far as education and stuff. So those trials and tribulations, I believe if we hadn't gone through them, they wouldn't be the people they are today. So it is.
God bless. God
it
bless.
Is what it is. Yes. So in what ways do you think 12 is like you and not like you?
Okay, he's far as independence, he's like me when it comes down to independence. And you know, he's a person, he'll go without before he have to ask, but he also knows if he has to ask, it's going to be there if I can provide it for him.
Mhm.
And one of the things, he's not like me. He's not really, how can I say it? Home style oriented. You know, he's like the going out. He likes to go out. He goes out. Not to say he's partying and doing illegal stuff like that, but he's more of an outside person, where I'm more laid back, because I am the mom, and I didn't raise my kids, and I didn't did what I needed to do, so I'm more laid back. But as far as DJ is, because 12 is concerned, he's very independent. That's one of the things he picked up from him. Is there anything you regret not having asked your parents?
Is there anything you always wanted to tell your person?
Oh, no, Miss G, number 3, not number 5. Is there anything?
Oh, is there anything you ever wanted to tell your kids, but you never have until now? Sorry, my eyes drift.
No problem. Is there anything I ever wanted to tell my kids but never have until now? Something they don't need to know. And when they become parents, they gonna have secrets they ain't gonna never tell their children. So anyway, and I think on my fault was I was too honest. You know, I tried to prepare them for, and I can be what they call it, blunt, you know, brutally honest sometimes. And they had to grow into that. You should still scar today. She tells me, Ma, you shouldn't have told me some of this. I was going through a divorce. And she was like, you shouldn't have told me that at such a young age, but it's done. But it was really done out of love to prepare her for, you know, and give her the understanding, and and prepare her for some of so that she could heal from the hurt and stuff of her father not being there, and trying to give her a foundation of understanding why. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, let me get to the next question. Do you think it's easier or harder to be a mother now than when you were raising your family?
Oh, that's a double-edged sword. Because I have a 20-year-old. It was easier, and I'm gonna say it was a little, you know, it was more harder with the first 4. And then as the first 4 grew up and I was left with the youngest one, it's about the same. It's about the same, you know, the different personalities. I always said my children was 5 pieces of me, because each one of them had a different part of my personality instilled in them. That's just the way God does things, the creator does it. So I do have a reflection in my mirror of all of them. So versus then versus now, I think it's about equal, to be honest with you. I think it's, yeah. All right. So is there anything you regret not having to ask your parents?
There are a few things that I wish I could have asked my mother, but I'm not going to divulge it now. But yeah, it just like family history, you know, because both of my grandparents were deceased, so I never knew them as a child. I have no recollection or memory of them. So yeah, it would be the family tree and certain things I would like to know. You know,
I could identify with that as well. I feel the same way on both sides, my mother and my father's side. I wish there was more I have known about my history.
Right.
It's the makeup of who you see right now, and then sometimes she's a piece of work. Yeah. Okay, is there anything that you wish had been different between you and your child, or that could have that would,
what's the best thing?
that you would still like to change?
No,
Six.
Miss Jean, my mother's gonna ask question 6.
Oh, I don't have any more questions.
No, you do. You do.
So what is the thing you regret not having extra parents? I answered that.
Yeah,
Okay,
then
so
you ask
what's
her.
okay, Miss Jean, what's the best thing your children can do for you right now?
What they doing? What they doing?
Yeah, okay.
Continue to be independent.
Okay.
I led by example, I showed, I spoke, and it's up to them to start living it. Just start living what I've taught them.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically it. Yeah, what they doing now. What they doing now, being independent. Everybody's living their life. Everybody is productive.
Mm-hmm.
They knew how to not engage in illegal activities, which is a blessing. For to say I have 3 boys. So my daughters is, the struggle is, they got their little struggles, but they doing what they got to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so now again, this is your question. Is there anything that you wish had been different between you and your child, or that you would still like to change?
Not really, because you, as a parent, you about what you could have did, and you know, there's no guidebook for being a parent. They got a lot of books out there, but when you going through it, sometimes you got to wing it. And as I say, hindsight is always 2020. But I was brutally honest sometimes. So I wish I could have been an example of that's the question, of what had a healthy relationship as far as a husband and wife. I wish I had been that example for them. To show what 2 people together look like, that love each other and honor each other. I wish that I could have gave them that.
I think the kids greener on the grass. Don't think it's greener across the street. I'm married.
No, I'm not even talking about nobody. I ain't talking about nobody else. I'm talking about for me.
Yeah, I just say, yeah, but I'm just saying as on the marriage perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand what you mean.
Yeah. No, I'm not, I'm talking about for me as well as for them.
Yes, yes.
As Black women, I don't think that we because
DJ, there's a sign in here.
I didn't know my value, and I didn't have and the first person to teach you that is your dad. So
yes.
My life, and I felt that was always a shortcoming for them. You know, for us as Black women, we need to know how to be treated, and we don't know. We don't know. Like sometimes we don't know our worth, and we accept a lot of things. Like in my older stuff, I was like, "What the heck was I thinking?" It's like, but I guess everything always work out for the glory of God, and everything
exactly
supposed to.
You don't make no mistakes.
Right. So, and my question to you is, when did you realize you were no longer a child, Ms. Jean?
After my first one was born, at the age of 17. At the
Okay.
age of 17, when my first child was born, and my mother just said it ain't about you no more. It was all about that baby.
That's right.
And not knowing what that entailed, you know, she said, you had her, so you gonna take care of her.
Mhm.
And that stuck with me to this day. I had them, so I'm gonna take care of them, even though everybody is much older now.
Mhm.
But I still take care of them. As long as I got breath in my body and whatever I can assist them in, whatever that means, that's the role I took. And it wasn't about me anymore. It was, you know, I'm still learning now, being at the youngest is 20,
Mhm.
and learning how to do me. I'm still learning how to do me because I'm so used to taking care of my family.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
always about the family.
Yeah.
And even down to trying to learn how to cook small portions. I don't know how to cook small portions. Every time I cook, I'm always cooking too much because I'm
Pick
used
up the pan of lasagna like this.
and I still have the big pots. I didn't, I do have little pots and I still fill those pots up thinking it's not enough. And it's just me and my husband, and the 20-year-old says, well, mommy, you cook too much, so I'm not eating because I don't want to eat it constantly, So yeah, so once I had my first child, that's
Yeah.
when my childhood was over.
Mhm.
And so I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up.
I think you're doing it.
I don't know what I want to be when I grow up, but in the same note, I thank God that I'm still in the land of the living and have the opportunity to whatever mistakes that I have made, that I'm able to get it right today because I've learned from my mistakes. So, I just keep it moving in that area like that. So yeah, childhood was up at 17.
Yeah, same sentiment exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any more questions.
That was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's up?
Ask anything specific?
Basically it's how's life?
Life is amazing. I'm like, I just, I wake up with COVID and everything. I just was, when it first hit, I was just glad God would let me open my eyes. And I'm always in that state of grateful. Yeah. So life is a blessing, and no matter what you're going through, it's always a gift. You have to look at it that way.
Yeah, you got to give thanks to all things. Because
Absolutely.
knowing that our creator put us here on this earth, even though it's a mystery on what our destination is going to be, we got to trust and believe that he has our best interests in heart.
Right.
And we just can stay focused and give him all thanks. Like you said, the gratitude, being able to survive COVID, we're still in the survival mode. I still have my mask. I keep my mask on. A lot of people have rescinded and don't want to wear the mask, and you got all these conspiracy theories going on about what's fact or what's fiction, the vaccine versus non-vaccinated. I got vaccinated for me
too.
It's out of wisdom, being older, coexisting medical conditions, and I've been fine. God has blessed me. Bless me with the wisdom to know the difference. So that's the thing, So yeah, you're right. The COVID thing was a real scary process. I still practice the same principles. I don't go out unless I have to go out. I'm just not lollygagging. I do my destination and I come back. I was blessed to able to do my business, and we're still in a pandemic. So God is just really good on that area.
Yeah, so I'm just grateful, because when you hear the national, the worldwide death total, it was it's staggering, really. And you better thank God when you wake up and see the day, because a lot of people left this planet.
I lost a lot of people in New York. I lost hundreds of people in New York that, grew, childhood friends and just friends from my husband, and relationships that we had established through the relationship. And I mean, just to be him and me to still be here is a blessing. And a few other of us that's still here, it's truly a blessing, and it's an honor to be here. So we can't take our life for granted.
Exactly.
We have to wake up. The pandemic, if it didn't do nothing, it woke, I know it woke me up, but I was already being elevated to where God wanted me to be with my wisdom. But it just enhanced my wisdom much more with practicing the right discernment on how to maneuver yourself and be in this society, knowing that this is going on, and protect yourself and just pray for your family. My daughter is in New York with my 2 grandchildren, and it was like, that was one of the biggest things, not to be able to get to them, and not for them to be able to get to me.
Yeah.
And that was, you know, she was supposed to come down that April, and I never forget, we had made the plane tickets and everything, like March and February had got everything organized, and that was supposed to be their first time to come down here. And COVID hit, and quarantine hit.
Wow.
And it was like, oh my God, my babies is up there. And then I'm looking at, and I'm just watching the news or whatever. And
they were in the epicenter. New York City was the epicenter.
Right there. They were right in there. So, you know, on my knees. But the blessing was my daughter got her apartment while in the pandemic, while they were still quarantined. She had got blessed during the pandemic, and she's doing good. They was able to make it down that August, and we had fun during the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? So God is good. He covered us, and he's continuously to cover us. God, I can't give him enough praise on 2 years. Look back, it's 2 years now.
Yeah.
It's 2 years now. So now when I sell, even when I promote my antiviral, because it was my people in New York that asked me to create something for COVID. And even when I promote it now, so I say, yeah, this is for COVID, but it's also good for flu. It's also good for cold, you know, respiratory infections, because nobody used that word too much anymore, COVID. You know, but it's still here. They just came out 2 weeks ago already. It was something called BA 2.12. I'm like, what?
I don't even try to keep up anymore. I don't.
What?
I can't.
It's like 2 more that came out since Omicron came out. And they're like, it exists. We aware of it. We got to practice our discernment on which way to go and protect ourselves.
That's the best we can do. The best we can do.
Yes. Okay, so it was nice meeting you. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. We don't need one day to recognize that we're mothers.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
May 26, 1984 was Mother's Day for me. And it's been like that to this present day. I don't need one day to recognize it because I know I'm a mother.
Exactly. It's just, it's another birthday for me. That's how I look at it.
I thank God for just waking up and being in the land of living.
Yes.
All right.
Always.
Thank you so much for watching. Please share, subscribe, and like, comment. We appreciate you all, and thank you all for watching.